My name is Sarah Laffin, and I played the guitar, the banjo, the accordion, the ukulele, the saxophone, the oboe, and I sing.
My name is David Ladouceur, and I play primarily the piano. I play also guitar, bass, and most of the band instruments that we teach here at Aquinas.
My name's Jeff Salem. I'm a percussionist, drum kit player, and hand drums. A little bit of piano, but we won't count that as professional.
I first started playing music when I was 12 years old, and I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was.
I started in grade 4. I started on violin, and I played it for about 3 years, but I ended up switching to other things.
Playing drums in 1981, grade 9, and professional when I finished high school back in 1984, making a career out of it. And many years later, here we are. Little fun?
When I graduated from university, I made a living as a musician, performing with my own band, sitting in with many other bands. At the same time, I also did studio work. I also did composition and arranging work for other musicians. I also taught music privately at that time.
I do a lot of gigging with a variety of different bands. I play in a tribute band that does a lot of big festivals as a tribute to the band Journey. I work with a smooth jazz artist, which is a whole diversity of music. And my fun percussion group, Enviro Drums, see, they're a little plug there. It's a percussion-based group, which is nice because there's other members in it who are drummers as well, too. So that's the band portion of it, and then I do a lot of educational programs in schools, like hand drumming, whether it's at a daycare, whether it's at a high school, retirement home. So I'm involved with that.
I play at a lot of farmers markets. That's how I make my money. I play at small gigs, small venues, bars, restaurants. I've played with St. Thomas Aquinas with their orchestra in Boston. I'm going to be playing with them again this year in Montreal.
The height of my practice periods were probably during my time at university. During those days, I tried to maintain a schedule of 5 hours a day on the piano, and whatever time was left, I would practice other things.
9 to grade 12, 3 hours every day. I didn't miss a day. I didn't even miss Christmas.
I'd say about an hour, especially if it's a new instrument and you really want to get good at it, or it's a new song and you really want it to sound good for something, then usually about an hour. I wish I was special. You're so very special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
Pirating in music is a very big problem for musicians because musicians rely on revenues from various sources to stay alive.
When it comes to indie bands, like smaller bands, they're depending on your money and your support.
It's just kind of unfortunate. I mean, like nowadays I see when students come in with songs, they've never purchased it on iTunes. I mean, I buy all my stuff on iTunes. Like I just do. I want to support that. It's unfortunate. Like, I mean, I think it's good maybe to inspire somebody if they watch a video on YouTube of the artist, but they don't realize how often, an artist puts a lot of time and money into that, and bingo, their stuff is already up on YouTube.
You really have to love it. And if you don't love the instrument you play, you need to stop playing it. There will always be something else that you will love if you didn't love what you were doing. I started with violin and I didn't enjoy it. So had I just given up because I thought, okay, well, I hate violin, so I must hate music, I would have gone nowhere. So you just have to keep going, keep trying, and when you find something that you love, you'll really want to do it. It will inspire you to keep playing.
Think about it long and hard and try and get as many people to talk you out of it as possible, because if you can be talked out of it by your parents or your teachers or your friends or anybody, then you shouldn't do it. I've always thought that music is not so much a career that you choose rather than a career that chooses you.
Four things I tell for anyone to be successful. It doesn't matter. You could be an owner of a restaurant. Be humble and keep working on your artistic craft. I always say we're students for life. There's always tons of stuff to learn from other people. Have a good positive attitude. Treat people like the way you want to be treated. Network, become friends with colleagues, play the same instrument as you. Business chops, being reliable, being responsible on time. I tell a lot of my teenage students, get a part-time job. Understand the value of money and responsibility, being at a place at a certain time, you're asked to be there. And also understand that if you make a mistake on the job, your boss might give you heck. A lot of young musicians have a hard time taking constructive criticism, so this will just toughen them up. And fourth, most important, stay clean. Live a healthy lifestyle. Forget all the drugs and stuff like that. No one's going to be successful doing that. So you focus on those 4 areas. Obviously the artistic form developing, is the most important. You go audition for a band. They called you because they want to know how you play drums. You could be the nicest guy in the world and be the most responsible business person, but if you can't play this, you won't get the gig. But having those other aspects will complement that.
For the beast in me, in there